The electric SUV market is heating up, and this is a car that could add some serious spice to it. It's called the Deepal S05, and it's coming to Australia in 2025. It likes to do things a bit differently, which we'll get to. We'll also get behind the wheel. But before we get into all of that, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and tell us everything you think in the comments below. The S05 is like the smaller brother to the S07 that went on sale in Australia earlier in 2025, except the thing is, this car is not that small. It's about 4.6 metres long. When you get inside, you got a flat floor, so really good foot space. I've got heaps of headroom, and obviously it looks really airy with the panoramic sunroof there, and decent knee room as well. So all up, it's a reasonably spacious compact SUV. Up front too, it's got a nice open and airy feel, and things like the binnacle beneath the floating centre console. It's pretty handy, and again, adds to the functionality of the car. It packs everything into that screen. You've got a big 15-inch central touchscreen, and it actually tilts towards you as the driver. It can tilt or stay flat, depends how you want to set it up. But you packed everything into that, so you need to know your way around the screen. It's in the wrong language for me at the moment, but I've had to muck around with one of these, obviously on the S07. Maybe a little bit of work to go on it. You've got sort of swipe and touch and various menus. You can program some menus on there, and that's where you've got these buttons on the steering wheel. You can set up your favorite buttons on there as well, so that's sort of handy as well. But all in all, a bit of a minimalist interior, but presented really nicely. Certainly the finishes and everything's very upmarket. It looks reasonably good for what is looking like being a fairly sharply priced electric SUV. So the S05 is an electric SUV. You can choose two flavours, either rear-wheel drive, single motor, or dual motor, all-wheel drive. The car I'm in now is a rear-wheel drive, single motor, but it's actually a little bit different again. This is actually the range extender version. So it also has a petrol engine, a 4-cylinder turbocharged petrol engine, stuffed under the bonnet, and that engine acts purely as a generator. All it's there to do is create electricity, extend how far you can drive. So you'll get well over 100 kilometres from this just on externally recharged electricity using the onboard battery pack. But if you need to go further, you can rely on that petrol engine and go anywhere that petrol will take you. Still drives very much like an EV because that engine's not actually driving the wheels. It's effectively an electric car in terms of the way it drives. So when you floor the throttle, you just get a nice surge. You start to hear the engine kick in at higher speeds to start creating electricity because all of a sudden you're using a lot of it. Dynamically, this one's running on Continental tyres, and they're pretty sizable, so there's actually a reasonable amount of grip. You can ultimately reach the limit, and it's actually got decent sort of meatiness to the steering, so when you tip into a corner, it sort of loads up quite nicely. Instead of having that nothing lightness going on, it's got a little bit of weight to it. So you know, the one thing I'm not learning here, obviously we're on an open skid pan, very, very flat. So dynamically, it's a little bit hard to get a feel for exactly what this car is going to be like. But look, the bones of it seem to be reasonably good. In terms of what the S05 will compete with, it's any of the compact SUVs on the market. I guess you naturally gravitate to the electric ones, the BYD Atto 3, Kia EV3, those sorts of things. Hopefully the price will be around about that, you know, sub 50 grand, somewhere near there. And at this stage, we confirm to get the battery electric ones, the full electric vehicles, and hopefully also get the range extender version as well down the track. So that range extender could be something a bit different in that market segment. Instead of the regular hybrids that are common in that segment, suddenly you got one that can be recharged externally, so a bit different. So that's the Deepal S05 coming to Australia by the end of 2025, and it's looking like being not only the most affordable Deepal, obviously a fledgling brand, but also one that could sell in reasonable volume if they get the price right, and that'll be the big trick. We'll obviously keep you up to date with everything about this car as it gets closer to its Australian launch, pricing, specs, details, everything. Until then, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit us with everything you think about the S05 in the comments below.